Hello students. In this video, I'm going to tell you about how you can actually use Quinn-McCleskey method or tabular method to minimize Boolean expression. So this is a quite interesting technique, as you see that we have earlier used your Boolean algebra followed by K-map, and we find that there are certain problems that are associated with your system. So to get rid of that, what is being done? Some new methodology need to be devised that can be used in computers. So Quinn-McCleskey method is one amongst them. So I will be discussing about this in the coming slides. So what we have done till now we have your minimization technique, and for minimization we are using Boolean algebra. And after Boolean algebra, we resorted towards your Karnaugh map that we have discussed in the previous classes. And today we will be discussing about tabular method. This is also called your Quinn-McCleskey method. Quinn-McCleskey method. So let's discuss about this method. So the K-map method is used to minimize logic functions up to 5 variables. So when it becomes 6, then it becomes very difficult to solve with your K-map. So then you find it impractical. So then we will look forward for alternative. Then pattern recognition of adjacent cells becomes tedious or impossible when it becomes 5, 6 variables. Then we have another method that is called Quinn-McCleskey method. So it is based on the same principles of the Karnaugh map method. It uses adjacency theorem to reduce minterms for which the logic function is equal to 1. And unlike your K-map, the Quinn-McCleskey method uses tables which provide simple pattern recognitions. So let's discuss about Quinn-McCleskey method. It is a tabular method that has an advantage over K-map when a large number of inputs are present. So with more inputs, a pattern recognition in K-map becomes tedious or sometimes even become impossible. Then we look forward for Quinn-McCleskey method, and that does not require pattern recognition. It consists of 2 steps. The first step is finding all the prime implicants of the function, and second step is selecting a minimum set of prime implicants of the function. So it's quite easy, and let's discuss this in detail now. Suppose a function is being given to you like this. Okay, so we don't have don't cares. In this case, we will be looking forward for don't cares in the coming classes. So here it's the primitive step for tabular method. So let's discuss it in a simpler fashion. So this is a function. So what are the various ways by which you can reduce it? You can go with your Boolean algebra or with K-map. But now let's learn a new technique that is called tabular method or Quinn-McCleskey method. So what you are supposed to do is you have to group them. You have to group them. So how you are actually going to group them? 0. It is in one group. As it does not have any ones, then next is 0, 0, 0, 1. So it is having single 1. So we will look forward where you are having single 1, 2, and then 4. And why I am grouping them? Because all of them are having single 1. And after that, there are no ones. So this is the second group. Then third group is 3, 0, 0, 1, 1. So then 0, 1, 1, 0. So 3, 6 is another group. And 11 cannot be grouped with this. Yeah, 12 can be grouped with this. 1, 1, 0, 0. So 3, 6, and 12, and so on. So here you can see in the first group, I have grouped like this, then single ones, then two ones, then three ones, and four ones. So what are the min terms being given to you? You are actually grouping them in group of 0 ones, a group of 1 ones, group of 2 ones, a group of 3 ones, and group of 4 ones. This is what you are supposed to do. And once you have done this, your step number 1 is complete. Step number 1 is complete. Now, what you are going to do in the second step? Now, in the second step, we are going to group 0 with all of them and taking into the consideration how many bit changes are there. So first is 0 and 1. So here when you compare this with this, what you will observe that there is only difference of this one. So you will write it as 0, 0, 0 and dash. So which is different will be replaced with minus or hyphen, and rest of them will be the same. Now this 0 and 2, only this place is different. So 0, 0, minus and this. That's the second case. And then comes 0 and 4. So there is only one difference, and you note it down and you will write it like this. Okay. Now when 0 and 2 comes out, there will be more changes. So we are not going to write it. Then 0 and 6 and so on. So there are more than one changes. So we are not looking forward for this. So now this step is also complete. So what we have done in this step, we have written like this, 0, 0, 0, 0, and then 0, 0, 0, 1. So they are common. So common will be written as this. So which is not common will be written by hyphen. So that is what we have done for this. So this grouping is being completed. Okay. Now coming towards this group number 1 and group number 2. So here you can see this position is different. So you will write it like this. Similarly, 1 and 4. So more than 1 are different. So we are not going to write it. Then 1 and 12, yeah, more than one position is different. So we are not going to write it. So come to the second one, 0, 0, 1, 0. And here, yeah, only one difference is there. So you will write it like this, 2, 3. Then 2 and 6, yeah, one difference is there. This difference is there. So you will write it like this, 0, hyphen 1, 0. Then 12, 2 and 12, yeah, more than one is changed. So we are not going to write it. Now coming towards third one, 4 and 3. So more than one bit is different. So we are not going to write it. 4 and 6, yeah, one bit is different, this one. So you are going to write it like this. Then comes 4 and 12. Yeah, only one bit different is there. So you are going to write it like this, minus 1, 0, 0. Okay. So similarly, coming towards group number 2. So here you can see 0, 0, 1, 1 and 0, 1, 1. So only one bit is different. You will write it like this. Now 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1 and 1, 0, 1, 1. More than one bit is different. So suppose this is 0, 0, 1, 1 and this is 1, 0, 1, 1. So here you can see this is same. This is same. This is different. So 3 and 11 can be written as this, 0, 1, 1. So 3 and 11 is written like this. Now coming towards 6 and 7, no. 6 and 7 is having only one bit change. So you will write it like this. Now coming 6 and 11, yeah, more than one bit change is there. 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 0, 1, 1. So here this bit is different. This bit is different. And this bit is different. So when you are having more than one bit different, you are not going to write it. You are going to group them only when there is only one bit change. Now coming towards 7 and 15, yeah, only one bit change is there. You have written it like this. Then 11 and 15, only one bit change is there. You will be writing like this. So in this way, we have reduced our groups to this particular order. So this is the second step. First step is group according to the number of bits. How many bits ones are there? So 0 ones, 1 ones, 2 ones, 3 ones, and 4 ones. So if it is a 5 bit, then it becomes 5 ones and 6 ones and so on, depending upon the types. Okay, so all the min terms need to be classified in the groups. The next thing you are supposed to do is, now you will group this with this. So here you can see more than one bit change is there. That will not be written, only one bit change is being written. So you have written it and classified according to this particular fashion. Now coming towards this. So we will be looking for 0, 1 and 1, 3. 0, 1 and 1, 3. So here you can see this bit and this bit is same. So because we have here, you can write 2 bits at a time. Okay, so 0, 1. So you will not be writing it. Why you're not writing it with this? Because here you can see it is like this. Your 0, 0, 0 and this. So this is 0 and 1. And here it is 0, 0, 0, 1. So 2 bits are different. So we are not going to group them. Now coming towards 0, 1, 2, 3. So here 0, 1 is like this and 2, 3 is like this. 0, 0, 1 and this. So here you can see only one bit is different. So you will be going to write it like this. 0, 0 this, and you are going to group it like this. 0, 1, 2, 3. Then more than one bit difference, more than one this, more than one bit different. So we are not going to write it. Then comes to 0, 2. So here you can see 0, 2, 1, 3. 0, 2 and 1, 3. Yeah, this we are going to write it, but 0, 2, 1, 3. This is same as 0, 1, 2, 3. So this is a redundant term. So we are not going to use it. Next is 0, 2 and 4, 6. So this is, so redundant terms are there. If they are in a different order, they will be redundant terms. If they are in different order, they will be redundant terms. So here 0, 2, 4, 6 and 0, 4, 2, 6 are one and the same. Why it is same? Some of you might ask. Suppose you are having this 0, 2, 4, 6. So they are in the same order. So that's why we are keeping it same. Okay. So now coming towards this. So which is not being grouped by anyone will be a prime implicant. So in this group, when we actually match them, we end up with this particular thing. So this is prime implicant. So how you are going to write it? The hyphen sign is not being written, but whatever numerals you are getting 100. So 100 is corresponding to position. This 100. So corresponding to position, what you are actually going to get? You are going to get it like this. Your this is A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. So it is being going to written as B, and this is your C bar, and this is going to be D bar. So this is how you are going to write it. Then no further grouping is possible. This and this cannot be grouped. This and this cannot be grouped. So this is the last stage of your work which you are actually doing. So now you are going to write the literals for all of them. So they are basically prime implicants. So your prime implicants are, this is one prime implicant which is not going to group with any of them. And next, this one. So 0, 0. So this is A, B, C, D. So hyphen terms will not be going to be written. They are only going to be written. So A bar, B bar. Then comes your A bar, D bar. And they are redundant. Why they are redundant? Because 0, 1, 2, 3 and 0, 2, 1, 3 are one in the same thing. Then 2, 3, 6, 7, A bar, bar, C bar, and bar. So this is A bar and C. So 2, 3, 6, 7 and 2, 6, 3, 7 are one and the same. So this is being going to written like this. Then 3, 7, 11, 15 and 3, 11, 7, 15 are one and the same. So this is hyphen, hyphen, 1, 1. So this is CD. So amongst them, you end up with literals. So your literals are like this: B, C bar, D bar, A bar, B bar, A bar, D bar, A bar C and CD. So all of them are your prime implicants. And we know that prime implicants are not the minimized version. To get the minimized version, we should look forward for EPI, essential prime implicants. We should look forward for essential prime implicants. This is what we are going to look for. So we have to look forward that whether any of the term is the possibility to eliminate them. If yes, we can eliminate it. So how we are going to do that? I'm going to tell you about this. So what you are supposed to do here, you have to write the terms like your B, C, D bar, which you are getting in the previous term, then A, B bar, sorry, A bar, B bar, then next term is A bar, D bar, and then next term is A bar C, and the next term is CD. Along with that, here you will write down all the min terms. So here it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 4, 6, 7, 11, 12, 15. 11, 12, 15. And here you are supposed to write the groups for which you are actually getting them. 4, 12, then 0, 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, then 0, 2, 4, 6, 0, 2, 4, 6, then 2, 3, 6, 7, 2, 3, 6, 7 like this, then 3, 7, 11, 15. 3, 7, 11, 15. Okay, now put cross in the relative term like this. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So I will be using different color. No, let it be different color so that you get a better understanding. So I will be using red. So 0, 1, 2, 3, then 0, 2, 4, and 6. Then it is 2, 3, then 6 and 7, then 3, 7, 11, and I think it's 15. That's all. So most of the tasks are completed. Now, the next thing you're supposed to do is draw the lines which can cover the maximum of them. So here you can see, if I draw it line like this, so all the terms are covered. Here, all the terms are covered. Here, all the terms are covered. Here, all the terms are covered. Okay. And what we can see that if any of the term can be covered by this, then we will try to eliminate that group. Here, here, So this might get a connection from here, and this is getting connection from here. This is getting connection. So this can be eliminated. So there is no need of this term. The reason for that is this is being covered either by A bar B and CD. So both of them are actually covering this. And this is not being covered by any of them. So then this need to be there. So this is being depicted very beautifully in the next slide. So here you can see these are your literals, prime implicants, and we are about to find the prime implicants. So this is what I'm talking about, that lines are being drawn like this. So when there are two kinds of lines. One are horizontal lines, another are vertical lines. So horizontal lines are being drawn, and from there connections are being made like this. So here you can see some of them might be redundant. So here you can see A bar C is not needed. The reason for that is that A bar C is, this is being getting connection from this. This is being getting connection from both of them, and this can be getting connections from this. So on the basis of that, the horizontal lines are actually your essential prime implicants. Also, one thing that is important, that is 0, 2, 4, 6. So this is getting connection from this. This is getting connection from this. This can be connected with this. And this is your being left, because this is not getting connection from any of them. So they need to be individually covered by the particular line. So that is quite important, that if something is there in a line which is not being covered by any of the lines, then that horizontal lines are prominent. So on the basis of that, you reduced this and you are getting terms like this. So here you can see A bar B is there, then CD is there, then BC bar D bar is there, and A bar D bar is there. So this is all about this. So why I have not included A bar C? Because its terms, this and this, are actually being covered by some other horizontal lines. So in that case, this is not being required. Suppose you draw a horizontal line, but that is not being required actually. Why it is not being required? Because that is actually being covered by other lines also. So if redundancies thing is there, that cannot be eliminated. And this is how your Kuhn-Mikhailovsky works. So it works on groupings and all. So here you can see the first thing is this grouping according to the number of ones, and then according to the difference between two groups, grouping is being there. So whatever is being left ungrouped is your prime implicant. So this is the first stage, prime implicant. Then we go for further grouping, and here you can see redundant terms are there. We are having a different orders, but numbers are same. That means they are redundant. So from there, no further grouping is possible between this and this. So in that case, they are your prime implicants. So once you are with your prime implicants, you are supposed to write it down like this. So these are your prime implicants, and these are the groups we are talking about. And then you will put all the crosses here corresponding to 0, 1, 2, 3 and all. And then you draw horizontal lines. So one which is being covered by all of them and need not to be there. So then we are ending up with this particular thing. So this is another method of minimization of a particular thing, of a particular Boolean expression. So I hope you understand the things. If you have any doubt, I request you people to put your questions in your comment box, and there is assignment for you. So this is your assignment task, and I want you people to do of your own. The solutions will be shared with you in the coming classes. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the learning, and see you in the coming classes.